Welcome back to Changing Greers. I'm Ben.
I'm Brady.
Today we got episode 11, Eli Peppmuller, baseball and football coach here at South, and I think we're just going to start off. Just tell us a little about yourself.
Thanks, yeah. This is my 11th year here at South, and I've been coaching freshman baseball for 11 years. I've coached football for 8, and I've been a social studies teacher for the last 6 years.
Okay, we'll take it back a little bit. So you played sports, obviously. Can you tell us a little bit about you playing sports before we go into coaching? We'll go through your whole progression.
Yeah, sports-wise, I was a pretty typical kid. Grew up playing baseball and football. Dabbled in a couple of other little sports like basketball in middle school and stuff. But when I got to high school, it was a baseball and football focus, and just was really trying to have fun. I had really great coaches growing up, and I think that part of that kind of led to some of the success that we had at the high school level. And so I was really excited to really get into it my freshman year. We were successful in both baseball and football. I played all 4 years of both sports. We were able to win a league title in football my junior and senior year, which was pretty cool. And then after high school, I got an opportunity to kind of walk on at Western Oregon University. I was more of a glorified practice player type thing. But I did that for a year my freshman year, and got to play with guys like Tyrell Williams, who got to play in the league, which was pretty cool, and learn from him quite a bit. And then after the day I actually went in and I talked to Coach Ferguson, who's the head coach over at Western, the day that I quit football, I had applied for the freshman baseball coaching job here at South, and 11 years later, here we are.
Did you always want to play college football, or was baseball which one was your favorite, or you wanted to play college in? I would say.
For me, the biggest one was baseball growing up. I really, really loved baseball, but by the time my junior and senior year came around for football, there's nothing better than playing under the lights on Friday nights. As much as I love baseball, Friday night football is a whole different animal, and I was a little bit better at football than I was at baseball at that time, and so I could have went to a couple of JUCOs and tried to play baseball, but I really wanted to go get my 4-year degree right out of high school, and had an opportunity to play up here at Western, and so that's what I decided to do.
I don't think you've mentioned yet, but you grew up in LA. Was there a difference playing football in LA and then coming here to Oregon?
Not really, other than spring football. We didn't have spring football in high school, but we do in college.
Yeah.
And spring football at Western, it was 6 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. 5 days a week, and it was probably in the 30s and 40s most of the time, and rain. So from a kid that was coming from sunny California, that was quite an adjustment real quick. But no, athletically, the type of athletes, the talent that's around, I would say that South is really, really similar to where I grew up and went to high school, about the same number of students. Okay. I think South actually is a little bit better than my high school is right now.
Really? Yeah.
But a lot of really good relationships. That's the biggest thing, is just the people that you meet. And the people that I met through high school sports are still some of my best friends. Some of the groomsmen at my wedding had some former coaches that I was just down. I went to go visit a bunch of them over spring break. And so it's the people I love, and doesn't matter if it's a year or 10 years later, I give them a call or they give me a call, and we'll drop everything to kind of help them out.
Yeah.
That's awesome. What was one of your favorite memories from college?
Favorite memories from
pick one,
from college?
Yeah.
Football-wise, so in our spring game, this was 2013, spring of 2013. It was kind of the only time that I really got action in a game.
Yeah, spring ball.
And it was spring ball. But I was able to score. I caught a slant. We were on the 25-yard line, and I was able to kind of dip and dive under one of our All-American free safeties, and I got in the end zone. So that's probably the best,
the highlight,
the highlight of it. I can always remember I scored a touchdown in a practice game for college football, but it was still cool though.
You mentioned that you started coaching like right after you stopped playing football. Did you just want to keep? Did you always want to be a coach, or did you just want to keep being in sports alone, or you could say?
I kind of realized I wanted to coach pretty young and early on. I was maybe like 14 or 15 when I just kind of had the epiphany of, all right, I got to figure out what I want to do with my life.
Yeah.
And so I knew that I wanted to play sports, and I kind of looked around at I wanted to coach sports, and I looked around at all the coaches that I had, and they were all social studies teachers. So I knew I really loved history and economics, and that's a big part of my life as well. And so it kind of just naturally fit all together, and that's what I decided to do.
Why did you choose South when you started your coaching and teaching journey? Was that just one of the only openings, or did you pick it?
So this is all by chance. When I decided to apply so the day that I quit football, I got home, I was pretty upset about it. I was really like thinking, man, I want to be a part of a team. Like my whole life, I hadn't been not a part of a team since I was 4 years old.
Right.
And so I went home, I went on to OSAA Classifieds, which is basically like a job website for coaching jobs in the state of Oregon. There was one job that was close enough to Western that I could apply to, and that was here at South. I applied for it. 2 weeks later, I got a call from the athletic director at the time, Paul Sell, and then I had an interview with him and Mr. Kerr, who was the head varsity baseball coach at the time, and then got to meet Coach Riley, and they took a chance on a 20-year-old kid from California that they never met, and the rest is history.
Yeah. Is it hard going from coaching football and then just switching over to baseball right after that, or?
No, I do appreciate that there's a little bit of a break in between.
Yeah.
Now I get to still be around basketball a little bit. I do the score clock for all the varsity home games, but it's nice to be able to actually spend some time with my family.
Yeah.
That's one thing. I know my wife's appreciative of that because I'm gone quite a bit throughout the year.
Yeah.
But it's a nice little break in between. And to be honest, it's kind of the way that I've had it my whole life.
Yeah, definitely.
Because in California, it would be, end football, I would get 2 or 3 week break, and then we would go into, and we'd have winter ball in California because the weather was nice, so we'd be playing games in the middle of December and January.
That'd be nice.
It's nice sometimes, but it's also kind of nice to have the extended break.
Yeah.
What are some of the challenges you face coaching freshmen? It's like you have a lot of different players. Some people that played before, and then occasionally you have people that have never played before. So what are some of the challenges?
Some of the challenges with it, I think you're kind of hitting the nail on the head, is that the talent gap is really, really wide. So when it comes to football specific stuff, you can have kids that have a really high knowledge level of the game and how to act, and then you have another kid that's just trying it out for the very first time and really liked it and just wanted to give it a shot. So that part is a little bit difficult. I think the most difficult part is just dealing with the transition and helping these freshmen kind of become young men and make better choices and good decisions and not do things to get in trouble at school, those types of things, and kind of guiding them through that. It's also the most rewarding part, though, too, right? It's really challenging early on, but the kids that you can really make a connection with and see them kind of grow over time, and then you get to, hug them up at graduation. That's kind of my payday. It takes a long time, but we get there.
Yeah. Just to round things off, what is one of your favorite parts about coaching?
It's definitely.
I don't know if you just mentioned it like that. Just getting.
Well, no, that is definitely probably up there. But honestly, I really enjoy just kind of hanging out with the guys, like bus rides back, hanging out in my classroom, just being able to get to know each other and to help guide them. And then I also really kind of just love trying things out, seeing what works, what doesn't, and growing as a coach alongside with my players and seeing okay, how can we all get better together, not just, okay, you should do this because I say so, right? I try to be as honest as I can. Like, look, I'm trying my best, but if it doesn't work, I'll tell you guys that I screwed it up type of thing. So those are probably my most favorite parts about coaching, but it's 100% the relationships.
Well, that'll conclude it. We appreciate having you on. That was awesome. Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you.